Hi, everyone, and welcome back to season 5 of In the Vine Connects.
Oh, yeah.
As you can see, the panel looks a little bit different today. And the reason for that is because my girls, I don't even know what to say. Well, obviously, you guys know that Yesenia, she just had a baby. Literally, it's been a week. And so obviously her baby cannot be on the show.
Not yet.
Not yet. So yes, he's taking maternity leave from In the Vine. And Denise, she just had some things come up, so unfortunately she can't join us for these next few episodes. However, she will be back for the second and third half, God willing. So for now, and then we have Kat here visiting us.
Hi.
So we're gonna go around the table, okay? So it's your host, Melissa Chavez, and here with me today I have
Shekinah
and Kat. Yay! I think I might have mentioned this in my Mondays with Mel. I don't remember, but I feel like this year is the year that we're just gonna learn to roll with the punches, and that's exactly what we're doing. So, I think we just mastered being flexible by this point. What do you think?
I think so. I think by season 5 we're finally figuring it out.
Here we are, learning to go with the. Have you guys seen those reels where it's just like when like walking with God is like, and at first you're like walking, and then all of a sudden, okay, now let's go. Yeah, go.
Accurate.
That's exactly what it's been feeling like. Denise made me laugh because she was like, it's kind of, I think I might have said this already. I don't know. But she was like, it's kind of like 2025 told 2024, hold my beer. So, yeah. Anyway, catching up. How are you ladies doing? I'm going to start with Shakay.
Actually, really well. The holiday, we had a long break,
We did.
but for good reason. We were so busy and the holidays were so much fun. We had our Christmas party, we had our New Year's party, and it was honestly just a blast. And then, of course, after the New Year's, we all kind of got a little sick.
Yeah, a lot of people got sick.
But it promoted so much rest, and I think it helps transition us from a time of celebrating and the holiday season into just going now into season 5 and, getting back on track with all things. So I think January is more of a trial period, and the official New Year's finally starting in February.
Sure.
So,
Yeah,
and I'm also looking forward to continuing to celebrate my birthday week.
Hey. Her birthday was on Tuesday, so
It was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited. And I'm just looking forward to this year. I'm looking forward to this new age and all the things that God has for us.
amen,
So
sister
exciting.
girl. Yeah. What about you?
How am I? I'm great. It's been a lot coming out of the holiday season. I just finished my first semester at a
Wow.
new school. I transferred out. And so after starting the second semester, I feel like I got a lot of groundwork, and now I'm just like able to do so much more. So there's so much learning, there's so much work, but it's like so definitely rewarding. And I'm just loving it. It's awesome.
That's so cool. She was like setting up our camera, and she was like talking her FTV, like her film and television jargon. And I'm just like, all right.
Hey.
But hey, this is why we sent you off, baby girl. Since you guys asked me.
So anyway, on to the topic.
This season.
Like the SpongeBob episode where it's just his hat showing and he's so excited to be on air. How am I doing? I'm doing well. Things have been so good. The Lord has been faithful. Sorry.
She's drumming on the table.
I
It's all good.
know.
She's excited.
I'm
It's good.
learning. I'm relearning this.
Yes.
Like it's been a long time since we filmed an
Like I said,
episode.
It's exciting. It's season 5. You're
Yeah.
just drumming away. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, continue.
All
I would
right.
love to hear how your holidays went.
My holidays went well. It was great. Been doing a lot of visiting of random places, and that has just been awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been good. So anyway, now moving along with this season. So as we were trying to figure out what we were gonna do with In the Vine, this upcoming season, we're like, okay, like what do we talk about? And I just felt like the prompting to just go back to our roots, as she kind of mentioned on our Instagram reel, and that is dating. And I think it's because there's I feel like people are starting to get more into like dating in general, right? Which I know sounds crazy, but I think as I mentioned, I know they haven't. Well, by now they would have. I don't know, whatever. But in my Mondays with Mel episode, I talked about how there's like this cultural shift, right? Where people are just so over like the sexual perversion and all that stuff. So I feel like people are really like starting to settle down and stuff. And so I just think the dating is really timely. So we're definitely going to talk about that. So what do you guys think about that?
No, I agree. And I think the fact that it's Valentine's season.
Yes.
And it's funny how we talked about in one episode, we took the word dating out of In the Vine
Mm-hmm.
so that could be more open. And it's just funny how God kind of brings everything full circle.
Yes.
You know, and like it just keeps just staying in the Vine. It allows us to be in the Vine podcast, in the Vine dating, in the Vine communicates, and or connects.
Or that's
another one.
Yeah,
there we go. In the Vine
Prophetic.
communicates. There we go. Coming to you soon.
Yeah.
But no, and I love that how God just brings everything full circle, and I think this is the perfect season for it. And the fact that now we have just all the single ladies, single Christian ladies, and we get to talk about it, and I think it's just completely appropriate. And we've had a lot of people ask questions and follow up with that, and so just all the way around, I think the timing is great.
I agree. Except for her Kat's taken. She got a man. What's up?
She's taken, but there ain't no ring yet. So
Yeah.
Mm.
I remember A-Rob once said, he's like, they're not married yet. I was like, all right. He's like, I'm just kidding. All right.
You can still catch the bouquet at a wedding.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Yeah. I think I was telling you earlier, just in the car we were driving, of like, oh, it was so cool that you guys started with In the Vine dating and now coming back a year later. That's like, okay, this is a refreshing. This is like what it started off with. And it's like, this is what it's continuing in.
Yeah.
And honestly, it kind of made me laugh because you were like, oh, I think people are starting to like get sick of that. And it just makes me laugh because our generation just getting older. So I think they're like, we just want to settle down. We're tired.
Yeah.
Tired of this, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome. How old are you?
I'm 20.
I'm 20. I'm just getting tired of it. Okay, here we go. All right.
I didn't want to say your generation.
I've been fighting all my life. All right. Okay, girls. So today we're keeping it light, right? It's just the first episode, so I'm keeping myself from hitting this table, from drumming further. But we're going to keep it a little bit light. And so my title for this episode is What's Your Favorite Color? And the reason for that is because I think, you know the like 21 questions kind of where it's just like, oh, what's your favorite color? Like, what's your favorite what's your favorite number? I'm just kidding. I've never been asked that, thank God. But just like those generic questions, and I get it, right? Like when you're getting to know somebody, like it's a little bit difficult to find to get a conversation rolling, especially like through text or whatever. But so the reason why I asked that is because we want to talk about like different ways that people can exercise intentionality in getting to know someone. And so ladies, exactly what I wrote here is, in this episode, we can talk about the different ways that people can be intentional about getting to know someone rather than being dry in conversation. So ladies, what are some tips that you have for our listeners when it comes to this topic?
I think just a tip that I have is just going into it and not making it about yourself, not saying like, I want this relationship, I want this person, and instead just like doing it from a point of view of like, let me get to know you, so because I want to invest in a relationship with you, let me see what red flags you have, what green flags you have, but just letting that be the focus of like, let me get to know you rather than trying to sell myself to this person. So
that's so good.
I really like that. That's great. That's like a great tip because mine kind of follows in suit with that of just like have a conversation, like go back and forth, get to know each other. And I've been out with guys who only talk about themselves, and then I've been with guys who don't lift up their head from their phone, and it's more of just like you like like just those single question, and so it's really attractive on both ends when you go in confidently and a genuine interest in this other person, and how are you, what do you do, what's your job, what's what I mean, like looking at ways to have a two-way conversation. It shows confidence, and it just shows genuine interest in this person, which is really attractive. So I would say just have a conversation with this person and look forward to that back and forth, kind of dialogue.
That's so true. And I think that can actually be said, obviously we're focusing on dating, right? But it can be said about any relationship, right? That's how you open the door in order for anybody to build any sort of friendship, relationship, etc. So what's your favorite go-to? Like, do you guys have a favorite question that like opens up the conversation for you ladies?
Oh man, like a go. I don't think I have a go-to. I
Yeah.
kind of just wait and see like what naturally flows.
Yeah.
You know, if they say a phrase or something, I'm like, oh, by the way, like, you know,
Yeah.
what is this? Like today I asked a guy, what do you nerd out about?
I was hoping that you would bring that
Yeah.
up because it's
I
such a
asked
good question.
Yeah, I asked a guy, I was like, so what is it that you nerd out about? Like what are you like a fan of? Like are you like a geek in anything, you know? And he was happy to answer that, you know? So that was like, I thought that was a really, like, I've asked that before because it's just people like to share their little hobbies and their interest and the things that they, you know, they nerd out about, and you kind of learn something about them. Like, are they into sports? Are they, you know, like what is the first thing that pops in their mind when you ask that question? And so you kind of get to see, okay, what is it that you get, you know, just like that you're a fan about, you know, the silly things. So
I'm kind of on the same with Shekinah. I don't really have a go-to question. I think I ask kind of basic questions just to get the ball rolling, and then from there I'll be more personal. But I think a good general question would be like, oh, what are your hobbies? What do you do? Like when you have free time, do you nap or do you read a book or do you like
are you
cooking?
lazy or smart? Like, what
I mean, my answer is
that's
nap
what,
at this moment.
Exactly.
Do you like olives? Have you guys heard? Have
Oh,
you
yeah,
heard about
the olive
theory, yeah.
I don't know. At my school, I'm CMA, so I just ask a lot of people like to get contact and to get to know them. Like, oh, like what's your favorite series right now, or like which series are you like trying to
That's a
get
good
through?
one. Yeah, I think those are just good startup questions. One of my favorites, if I'm just really looking for something fun and just engaging, is if you starred in a movie, what's the genre and who's your co-star? And that gets a lot of like different answers. People really start thinking about it, and you kind of get to see, okay, their favorite genre of movie, their favorite actor, and so it's just, I was like, I just really like just random little like unique questions like that. And again, that's not where you want to stay in a relationship, but again, going back to just getting to know you, just trying to like loosen it up and get comfortable having a conversation with this person. I think those kind of questions are a lot of fun and engaging.
Yeah, I love questions. We actually did this. All our friends, like we just randomly, like we're all having lunch together. We didn't plan it. And a question that was going around the table that was so fun because like people can just express themselves. But it's like, what if you were a color, what color would you be? And that was just such a fun one to answer. That's what I remembered when you were talking, Shekinah.
Nice.
It's like when people get to
one.
like, because I feel like those types of questions are good for people to be like, oh, I'm this because of this. Or like they evaluate themselves, or they're like, oh no, I don't want to share that. So.
Okay, so one thing that I have encountered with people, right, is that people are pretty afraid to have conversations with the opposite sex or in general because like they just put so much pressure on themselves, like that anxiety of like talking to somebody new or like carrying a conversation. And sometimes like I think we have to give permission to allow for the awkwardness, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you have to sit with the awkward, and obviously like don't make it even more awkward by like, you know, and I'm speaking to myself because I can definitely make things very awkward. But I think I've learned to just, because when two people are meeting each other, right? Two people are starting up a conversation. Two people are like showing interest in one another. Like there's already that automatic awkwardness there. And that's like such a part of any relationships. That's such a part of any growth process. And so, you know, don't necessarily shy away from that, right? Like, I can't tell you guys how many times like I've been like, man, like that was so dumb. Like, why did I say that? Like, oh my gosh, right? But you know, things like that are okay. They're part of the process, you know.
The right guy will find that cute.
Yeah. Or the right girl. Girls, I think like when we're into a guy, they can do no wrong.
Oh yeah.
Like,
but I think it's the same way for guys. Like
Yeah,
I feel like
true.
when like he's into a girl, he's just like, oh my, like he just sees all the greatness. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's both ways. Like when you're really interested in somebody, you're just like infatuated with everything they do. And when they do something awkward, on our end, we're freaking out. Like, oh my gosh, I was so awkward. And he's just like, wow, she's so cute. Like, you know, like,
Just another cute thing.
so
exactly.
geeky. Yeah. Okay. Well, is there anything else that you guys would like to add on to this topic of what's your favorite color? Well, I guess we can. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I want to build on what you're saying, like, because I've heard that from so many girls, and I know it's the same for guys, but I don't have this conversation as often with guys. But I've heard that from so many girls. You know, like I go in and I'm just like, yeah, just go talk to him. You know, like trying to encourage them. And, oh, I can't. I'm so awkward, and I feel so like weird. And you know, they get really uncomfortable. And like you said, embrace the awkward, and embrace the awkward, but also if you go in thinking I'm just going to be awkward, then you are going to be awkward.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like it's a conversation, and you really don't have to psych yourself out about it. You don't have to get nervous, and It's easier said than done. I
Oh
know.
my gosh, 100%.
I know.
I'm terrible at this. So, yeah.
Totally easier said than done. But like you said, it's also look at it as like, you know what, if it doesn't work out or he's not interested or my weird little quirky things just kind of turn him off, like you got the practice in at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just think all the way around, whether it turns into something or doesn't turn into something, it's just a great experience. And it's something you're learning and you're stepping out there and you're building confidence. And I just think it's a fun experience when you let it be.
Yeah.
It really is. And like, I know I can be a little confrontational. And if I see somebody I like, I'm just like, hey, hey, how's it going? You know, like I can just walk right up and introduce myself. Yeah, hey, what's up? Hi, I'm here. Look at me. And I have to rein myself back a little bit. So I know I don't really like sympathize a whole lot with girls who get really nervous. But I used to get really nervous. And so this is coming from experience and my mindset shifted. And really, honestly, it really is fun. It's a fun experience to flirt, to make yourself available, to see, you know, what makes this person laugh or what makes you laugh. But you have to let it be. And you have to make that decision of whether it works out or not. I'm just going in to have a fun conversation and have a good experience with this person. And, you know, like I said, whether it works out or not, you walk away with a new confidence and with a new, you know, like I tried. And I learned something about myself. I'm awkward in this area. Maybe don't bring up this topic.
Maybe don't bring up if women should be pastors in the first date.
All right. So you learn everything you learn. But it really is like, guys, I promise you, if you make the decision and you're intentional about it, it's a fun process. It is. You just have to let it be.
Yeah. And also, I think have grace, right? Like if you're the one that's being approached, like also give grace because sometimes people are really nervous too, right?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
like, you know, when people say dumb things or whatever, like make it, as Shekinah was saying, like make it a joke, you know? I think one of the things that unfortunately like media and society has done is like they make it as though like that first interaction has to be like perfect, right? Like and we forget to be human in it, right? It's not just like, of course there could be that witty banter and stuff, but I mean just let your guard down. Be genuine. Be transparent. Don't overshare. Please don't overshare. Don't start talking about your trauma from 3 years old.
Exactly.
Like keep it light, you know. And okay, so besides conversation, I think also a good way to be intentional about liking somebody is pay attention to the things that they're into. So for example, I was looking at statistics and I think this was a pretty popular reel that was out there about the way that people used to meet each other back in the day, how before it was a lot more like people would find their mate at workplaces, which by the way, I think where I work, it's like they make it a point to not hire any single men because I swear and if they're
Melissa
like
works here.
ITV is
We
my
got
job.
women on the prowl right now.
But like me and my coworker talk about it all the time because she and I are both single, and so we're just like, bro, like every time a new guy comes in, it's just like what, like this. I was about to name the business, but it's like, do these people like have a no attraction, whatever. I'm not talking smack about my coworkers. Y'all are good. Y'all are amazing. Anyway. What was it? What was I saying? I'm saying that back in the day, that used to be the spot, right? Where you would meet most people. And so the reason why I'm bringing that up is because when you are in shared places with people, for example, if you go to school with somebody, if you're at work with somebody, pay attention to the things that they say, right? When you're in a friend group, this is why we're so big about courting. When you're in a friend group, like listen, pay attention to the things that they gravitate to, right? I had a friend, an old coworker who she was like super big into Disney. And so we had another coworker who was like super into her. But they worked in IT or whatever, and so they wouldn't really be in close spaces that often. But when they were on the phone, like he would constantly just like they would banter a little bit. And so for the first time that he asked her out to a Disney play. And so it was so cute, right? Because one, how could she say no? She was like obsessed with Disney and she was obsessed with plays. So then it's just like, you know, he made it hard for her to say no, you know? And so in paying attention and being intentional to the things that they're saying without being direct, I think that also shows a person like, wow, they're being intentional, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And and with that, coupled with that, I've also met people who get a little uncomfortable with that kind of like when somebody pays attention to them like that, they get uncomfortable. But let me tell you this. if you are, and usually it's the men who tend to do the, pursuing. So I have seen men be intentional with women, and I've seen women go, oh my God, no.
Mm.
Can you believe he got me flowers? Can you believe he got me my favorite flowers? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
no,
my
I've heard this.
gosh.
And it's more of a commitment issue, right? And it's just, and it really comes down to whether she finds that guy attractive or not, and it's so sad to me. But like, oh my gosh, he got me my favorite flowers. How creepy. And I'm just like, he was paying attention to you talking in a friend group. He heard what your favorite flowers, and he got like, that's sweet. So, gentlemen, if you find yourself in that situation where you are pursuing a girl and you've been intentional, I want you to know something. You're not wrong. There's a line. If she expresses that she's not comfortable with it, don't keep going for it.
Right, just like,
yeah, like exactly.
I know you.
Like,
breathing
the woman
heavy
on
on
the vine said I wasn't wrong, and I'm going to keep trying. Like, no, if she makes it clear that she's not interested, like,
show better
back up.
friendship.
Yeah, exactly. Back up. But what I'm saying is the initial approach, the initial intentionality, the initial pursuit. If you run into a girl who's just not interested or treats you, poorly and doesn't take that seriously or is grateful for it, you're not wrong. You're still a gentleman. And I want to encourage men who do that to keep doing that. As much as it might suck to be rejected, keep doing it, because you're gonna find the right girl, and it's gonna be worth it for the right girl. And it's gonna be worth it for you too. But I know that guys, they get rejected once or twice, and they're like, that's it. Like, clearly I don't know what I'm doing. Clearly, like, no one's likes me. No one's interested. And they back away. And then all these good guys are stuck in hiding because of these, women who just don't know how to handle that kind of thing maturely. So I just want to talk to the guys specifically. If you run into that kind of rejection, like, I'm sorry, that sucks.
Shekinah has gone through some things.
I've gone through, well,
her heart is a little soft now.
I feel like Kat would understand, because this is a college thing. This is specifically for college students, because this is the kind of like dating culture that I was around in my 20s because of school. And so...
What?
Why are you looking at me?
So it really is just coming from just a lot of like immature 20-year-olds. You know what I mean? Like those early
Yeah.
20, just immature, like they don't know. And so, but a lot of men, because of that immature 20 stage, it completely defines dating for them. You know what I mean? And it breaks my heart, because I would see some really good guys just kind of like sulk in the back, and just like sink back, and they completely given up on dating and finding the right girl. And I'm just like, but dude, So I just want to encourage men, like, just don't give up, keep going. And like I said, be respectful. If she's turned you down, like, back away. Don't like, don't like, then it does become creepy when, like, second or third chance, like, she's already said no. But I'm just saying, the initial approach, just don't get discouraged. The right girl will really appreciate that kind of intentionality.
Yeah, I agree.
I like pink roses, by the way.
Okay. But I feel like even kind of going back to what you guys were saying earlier of like, it should be fun. Like, don't put so much pressure on it. Because like something I had to learn, it's like, this person asked you out, you're not getting married tomorrow. Okay.
Right.
Like,
That's a big
Like,
one, especially
yeah.
for Christian women.
yes.
my
And it's like,
gosh,
you
yeah.
want to walk out that process. Let it be fun. Like, have fun with it. I'm sorry, guys, if a girl rejects you, you know what? I'm sorry, but like, don't put that pressure of like, oh my gosh, she was the one. God told me she was my wife. No.
Yeah.
did not.
And I
He
think
did not.
this will definitely flow into our next episode, so I won't get into it now.
Yeah.
But definitely just that confidence of just going for it, dude. And like,
Yeah.
again, just deciding to make it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. Let it be.
Yeah.
And to my girlies out there, Shekinah spoke to the men. I'm going to speak to the girls. Allow yourself to be chased. Allow yourself to be somebody that somebody is interested in, right? Because I feel like a lot of women out there, they either have like that hyperbole, like where they're just like so puffed up and they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. My stuff don't stink type of thing. And then we have those other women, right, that are just like, no, like, don't look at me. And to those, like, you're never going to, you're never gonna find love if you don't open yourself up to the hurt, if you don't open yourself up to the awkward conversations, if you don't open yourself up to the rejection. Like, you also have to put yourself in a place, right? Like, one, because you're worthy of receiving love, you're worthy of being chased, and so put yourself out there and let the Lord bring the right person. It's not always like perfect. I don't know that even when it's the right person, if it's perfect. And so I do love what Kat said, like, allow yourself to just go through the process, because honestly, that is the joy of it, right? Like, you don't want to put too much pressure on it, even though it is a lot of pressure, and that, like, towards the end, right? Like when you start talking about marriage and all that stuff, like it is a lot of pressure. But in the beginning, have fun.
Yeah.
Just
I
go
mean,
with
that's
it.
really
Yeah.
our primary message. Just have fun, keep it lighthearted, you know, and like I like you ladies said, like, especially for Christian women, and I know I've been there for sure.
I don't want to
First
say
date,
it. I don't want to say it.
100%.
30 days, am I right?
Exactly. Oh my gosh, we're gonna bring that back up.
Yeah,
I'm still on the 30
I'm
days.
still not over it. I'm still not. I was talking to somebody today, and I was like, "Has he met the family?" And she was like, "No." I was like,
Has it been 30 days?
"Yeah." And she's like, "Yeah, I know, right?" I was like, "Yeah, exactly."
So funny. Anyway, but
Clearly I'm not
I
over
love
it.
that like that's like been the topic.
Yeah.
Is that it's just keep it fun, keep it lighthearted, and like again, the first date is not marriage. I know that's been my mentality for such a long time. Even college, I didn't date at all in college because I was just like, I'm not looking for marriage. And that's not a bad mentality to have, and I really don't regret it because I'm not looking to date just for fun. I'm not
Right.
looking to date just to have a fling or just have a good time. I still go in with being intentional about dating. However, the first date, I can ask, what's your favorite color instead of how many children do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
I know that there's definitely I can calm down a bit. I know there's a lot of Christian women who can. And so like I said, I'm not saying back up on your boundaries. I'm not saying change your mentality, because dating, I really would encourage any Christian woman, really any woman, just date for marriage. Just have that mentality going into it. But you can have a good time on the first date. You can have a good time in the flirting beginning stages of getting to know this person and wondering, when are they going to ask me out? Like, you can have fun in that stage. You can have fun throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
But you can just keep it lighthearted and fun. You don't have to like automatically jump into, oh my gosh, we made eye contact at church. We're getting married. I've been there. I'm sorry. I've learned my lesson now.
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah,
let it
'cause, like-
be fun.
Yeah, like,
lighthearted.
because like those types of questions like that you want to ask later on, like those are questions you ask once you know you want to invest, right? And so like in the
Exactly,
beginning,
yeah.
you just want to know what's there before you
Right,
try to
are we
invest
even
or not
compatible?
invest.
Yeah.
Yeah, like-
And that's such a defense mechanism, right?
Yeah.
Like, because you either want to be black and white with somebody, but the journey of any relationship is not like that. It's
Yeah.
not black and white, and it's not fair to put that kind of emphasis on a relationship when it's just first starting out. I mean, shoot, like even in friendships, right? Like there's some things that I'm not compatible with my good friends in, but that doesn't mean, it's like that old saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like, don't throw the good out with the bad. Like, there's the things that bring us together are far more important than the things that don't, you know? And so with that, we just want to encourage you as we go into the rest of this season. You know, I'm sure there will be times that we get into heavier topics when it comes to dating. But at the end of the day, I think what we want to do is like, let's just take a seat. Let's take a step back real quick. Okay. Let's not be that weird Christian at church that does corner a girl. Man, I remember when I first started coming to church, I didn't know anything about anything. A guy cornered me in the parking lot, and he was like, "Oh, I feel like God told me this." And I was like,
Yep.
"No." If you were cute,
Yeah, it comes back to
maybe.
if I'm not too attractive.
But I was like, nah. And yeah, no. So don't be that weird person. Okay. So let's just 2025. Okay. Let's just be normal and let's have fun and let's date and let's get to know people. Let's be open to new opportunities. Don't get crazy though. Okay. Don't get crazy. It's your yeah. Have you guys seen those commercials?
Yeah.
It's your dad was showing us today. That looks like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else, you ladies? Do you want to leave them with the tip for this week?
Yes, I do have one. My tip for the week is put your phone down. Just
Oof.
falling in line with what we were talking about. Put your phone down, make eye contact with a cute guy or girl across the church, and feel free to approach them. But if you keep your phone up, you're
Yeah.
going to miss so much, you know?
Mhm.
Put the phone down. Just let's put that to practice.
Yeah. And pick it up to get their number.
Yeah, and then you can pick it back up to get a number.
I like it. All right, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. I know we kind of rambled, but I hope you got some good nuggets out of it. The next episode is also going to be good, and stay tuned because in a few episodes we're going to have a few guests. Thank you, Kat, for being here. I know that you're going to be with us in the next episode as well.
Yeah.
So we just thank you for filling in. Look at that. The Lord just provides.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. All right. See you guys next episode. Bye.